It wasn't a headline. It wasn't a breaking moment. But for those watching closely, something felt different. During a recent episode of Live, what seemed like just another morning turned into something unexpectedly meaningful. Because this time, when Kelly Ripa spoke, it wasn't just part of the show. It felt personal. And almost instantly, fans began to notice. Not because of what happened, but because of how it felt. So what exactly did she say, and why is it staying with so many people? Let's take a closer look. A familiar face in millions of homes. For years now, Kelly Ripa has been more than just a TV host. She's been part of people's mornings, part of routines, part of everyday life. From early conversations to lighthearted moments, she built something rare, a connection. Not through big headlines, but through consistency, showing up, being present, being real. And over time, that consistency turned into trust. Alongside her husband, Mark Consuelos, the show took on a different energy. Their conversations didn't feel scripted, they felt natural. Sometimes funny, sometimes honest, sometimes unexpectedly emotional. And that's what made viewers stay, because it didn't feel like performance. It felt like real life happening live.
Then came this moment. Simple, unplanned, easy to miss if you weren't paying attention. There was no dramatic pause, no music, no build-up, just a shift, a subtle change in tone, a sentence delivered a little differently. And somehow, that was enough. What she said. During a casual conversation, Kelly began reflecting on something familiar, time. Not in a heavy way, not in a dramatic way, but in a quiet, thoughtful tone. She spoke about how quickly things move, how moments that once felt small become meaningful over time, how routines, the same daily patterns we often overlook, can turn into something we later cherish. And as she spoke, there was a pause. Not scripted, not forced, just real.
For viewers, this wasn't just another conversation, because what she said felt relatable. It wasn't about celebrity life, it wasn't about fame, it was about something everyone understands, the passage of time. And suddenly, people watching at home found themselves thinking, too, about their own routines, their own memories, their own lives. What made this moment stand out was its simplicity. No big announcement, no dramatic reveal, just a thought. But sometimes, simple words carry the most weight, especially when they come from someone you've watched for years, someone who feels familiar. Soon after the episode aired, fans started responding. Not with shock, not with confusion, but with reflection. People shared their thoughts, their memories, their experiences. Some mentioned how long they've been watching. Others talked about how the show became part of their daily routine. And slowly, a quiet moment turned into a shared experience. More than entertainment. That's when it becomes clear. This isn't just a TV show. It's something more. For many people, it's part of their day, a familiar voice in the background, a sense of comfort. And when something meaningful happens, even subtly, people feel it. In a world filled with fast content, what stands out is authenticity. And that's what this moment had. It didn't try to go viral. It didn't try to be dramatic. It just happened. And that's exactly why it worked. Not every viral moment is loud. Some are quiet, some are slow, some take time to settle in. This was one of those moments, the kind that doesn't explode, but stays. What it represents. This moment wasn't just about what was said, it was about what it represented. A reminder that time moves forward, that routines matter, that small moments aren't as small as we think. The connection with viewers. Over the years, Kelly Ripa built something strong, not just an audience, but a connection. And moments like this show why that connection still matters. What it represents. This moment wasn't just about what was said, it was about what it represented. A reminder that time moves forward, that routines matter, that small moments aren't as small as we think. Over the years, Kelly Ripa built something strong, not just an audience, but a connection. And moments like this show why that connection still matters. Sometimes, we wait for big moments to feel something. Big announcements, big changes, big headlines that stop everything for a second. We think those are the moments that matter most, the ones we'll remember, the ones that will stay with us. But the truth is, life doesn't always work that way. Because the moments that stay with us the longest are often the quiet ones, the ones that don't come with warning, the ones that don't ask for attention, the ones that happen in between everything else. A simple conversation, a small pause, a feeling you didn't expect. And maybe that's why this moment resonated so deeply with so many people. Because it didn't try to be important. It didn't try to go viral. It didn't try to become something bigger than it was. It simply existed in its most natural form. And yet, people felt it. Not because they were told to, but because something about it felt real. Because in that moment, Kelly Ripa wasn't just speaking as a host on television. She wasn't delivering lines. She wasn't performing. She was speaking as someone who understands something we all experience. Time. The way it moves quietly in the background. The way it doesn't stop, even when we want it to. The way it turns ordinary days into memories without asking for permission. And sometimes, we don't notice it happening. We move through our routines. We go from one day to the next, thinking there will always be more time. More moments, more chances to notice. But then, something small happens, something simple, and it makes us pause. It makes us think. It makes us feel. And suddenly, we become aware of everything we usually overlook. The conversations we didn't realize mattered. The routines we thought were ordinary. The people who have been there all along. And that's when it hits us, that these small moments were never really small at all. They were building something, quietly, slowly, consistently. Memories, connections, a sense of meaning that only becomes clear with time. And maybe that's the real power of moments like this. They don't just exist for a second. They stay with you. They follow you after the moment ends. They show up later when you least expect it and remind you of something important. So the next time you're watching something familiar, something you've seen 100 times before, don't just let it play in the background. Don't treat it like noise. Pause for a second. Look a little closer. Listen a little deeper. Because meaning doesn't always come from big moments. It doesn't always arrive with noise or attention. Sometimes it's hidden in the smallest details. A glance, a pause, a simple sentence. And if you're paying attention, those are the moments that will stay with you the longest. Because in the end, it's not always the biggest moments that define us. It's the quiet ones, the unnoticed ones. The ones that felt simple at the time, but meant everything later. If this moment made you think even a little, I'd really love to hear from you. How long have you been watching Kelly Ripa? And what's one moment from the show that has stayed with you over the years? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy content like this, real, meaningful, and reflective, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and stay connected for more. Because sometimes the quietest moments are the ones that mean the most.